So right now, though, as promised, we are getting into our conversation with Krystle Howell. And if you didn't know, you're going to find out. You're about to meet the artist. Good morning, Krystle.
Good morning.
You look
Good
great. Great
morning.
to see you on a Friday.
I know. How is it?
So we are doing all right. Shane, you're good, right? You're all right,
Of course,
right?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some of the art in the background, and we're looking at
Yep.
Crystal's artistic side. Actually, our first meeting
Yeah.
with Crystal was about her work as an artist. So we're checking in with her in that regard. And it was good to see
Yeah.
that video that you posted on IG, Crystal. It
Throwing
feels like
back.
eons ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
When we
Your
were in the
throwback
studio
video.
getting a chance to see what else you do. So talk a bit about that. What have you
Yeah.
been up to in the world of art?
Well, first of all, it's glad to see that. I remember that first meeting that we had, and every single meeting we've had since then has been about something so serious. So it's glad to see that
Yeah.
over time you've actually grown accustomed to auditors and to embrace the audit profession so much within that period of time. But today, the progress for the art has been amazing. It is definitely a journey that I am so happy that I've been able to be on all of these years. And I feel as though I experiment and do something different almost every time I put a brush to the canvas or a pencil to the paper. It is something that I try to explore and to change up as much as I can, to learn as much as I can, because every time I look around, there's something different that you can learn or that you can do. And it's just been exhilarating and thrilling for me.
That's an awesome landscape that you've got behind you. And I can't help but notice it because these are things that, for me, make the space feel like home or brings that thing that you love into your space or that is special to you for whatever reason. But I've also noticed that you do a lot of your painting or your work on the female form. So tell us about
Yeah.
what you like to draw or paint and the inspiration.
Well, the story behind the landscape piece, this one is a portion of Bathsheba. And it was my first time, one, exploring with oil painting. And I remember coming home so excited. And this actually was started 3 years ago. And when I started there was more paint on me than on the canvas. Could not get the medium figured out at first. And then when someone else looked at it, they were like, this is not working out very well. So I actually shelved it for about 2 or 3 years because I didn't think I was able to handle the medium. But I then went and I looked at some videos as to how you would be able to manage it because it's actually very different to acrylic. And the funny story behind it, I would have done what I usually do is to put down a base first just to get an idea of where I want the sky, the sea, and everything else. And then the next day came down so excited, figuring that it would be dry and that I could then put on the detail. And it started to smudge, and I was there like, this had the entire night. Why is this so wet? And then I gave it a few more days, and it was still extremely wet. And then I decided to go and do some
Wow.
research. Like, all paintings take almost a year to dry.
A
So
year?
Wow.
I, as I said, I'm self-taught, so I don't want persons to think as though you wake up knowing everything about art and about what to do. As much as you do learn on YouTube, there's still so many things that you will benefit from if you were in an actual class. So I do encourage persons, yes,
Really?
yes, I do
Mm-hmm.
encourage persons to go and learn as much as possible in whatever shape, form, or fashion you can. And yes, I did try my hand a bit at some abstract pieces, as you can see now in the background. It it's been a very interesting journey trying to see what it is that I could really do. And yes, a lot of my pieces do show the female form because I think, especially as Black women, we are only now being heard and being seen And I wanted to make sure that I represented well what it is to be a Black woman, what it is to be a female in the arts, in this world, having our voices heard, and to be seen as beautiful. Because there's so many other races that their beauty is just accepted. But when it comes to Black women, sometimes it's a struggle. And this conversation about whether kinky hair is acceptable, whether our Blackness is acceptable, if you have to be a certain shade of Black to be considered beautiful. I remember doing some pieces where the was very dark and was told that's not going to sell. And I told the person, I don't do my artwork for it to be sold. I do it for me to be able to express myself. And if it is sold, which majority of the funds that I get anyhow still go to charity, that's a bonus. But if I have a
Yeah.
piece that is created, I'm doing it because I want to be able to express how I feel inside about the things that I've observed around me and about the beautiful persons that I have in my life so that people can see that Black can be perceived as beautiful. And maybe one day that dark skin art piece will become one that persons demand as opposed to see as something to put on the wayside because it doesn't look as
Yeah.
beautiful. And even the one with the purple hair and the yellow background, that sold immediately. And her skin is very
Mm-hmm.
dark as well.
It's
Yeah.
great to see, Krystle, that you have a mission with your art, donating to charity and pushing that message that Black is
Yeah.
beautiful. Wow,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is really really amazing. So like,
you'd
how
be
can
What is,
surprised.
people?
go ahead.
I
Sorry,
was going to
there's
say,
so
people
many
hearing this
Barbadians.
will. Oh, go ahead, Krystle. Yeah.
There's so many Barbadians that have been willing to donate to charity, and especially recently, I've been trying to get persons to donate to the Hurt Registered charity because it's one that's very close to my heart in terms of the community work that they do. They go around to homes that these persons would not be able to make ends meet if not for the help that they receive. And being a part of it and seeing for myself the amazing work that they do and the families that they help and make a difference in. And they do work all year round. But of course, at Christmas time is the only time where people sometimes, you get caught up during the year. So if there's any way that I can help to encourage or remind persons to donate to this charity that I know I can vouch for, that's the one that has become close to my heart.
Krystle, I think it's awesome, even more beautiful that your left brain and right brain work amazingly. And I look forward to the near future when you've got that space that people can view it, the virtual space, people can connect with you. We will be sure to share that. Thank you so much.
You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook to find all my work. I'm on as Krystle_creations, both with a K, and I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
Beautiful. Thanks again for sharing.